Hi, I'm Felicia and I'm currently speaking out about healthcare failings and systemic issues that I've experienced across multiple NHS trusts in the UK in my 12-year quest to find a diagnosis and medical treatment for debilitating left-sided facial pain. This particular video is about healthcare failings at Guy's and St Thomas's Hospital. I was seen by 3 departments at this hospital: oral maxillofacial surgery, infectious diseases and ophthalmology, who all found abnormality. But instead of communicating with each other and taking action, they each discharged me, resulting in a missed opportunity for diagnosis and medical treatment. In 2015, I was seen by ophthalmology at St Thomas's Hospital. The professor of ophthalmology diagnosed my left ptosis. He told me that he couldn't correct it with surgery until all my other symptoms had abated. He also identified that there was a problem with my tissue. He said the problem is with your soft tissue, which seemed to indicate that he knew it was a soft tissue infection or inflammation problem. But he didn't look at the root cause of what had caused my left levitator to collapse, which is what a ptosis is, a dropped eyelid. And he discharged me. But what was so difficult about that is he did identify that there was a problem. So he possibly could have done more than he did by just discharging me and telling me to come back for surgery when everything else had been sorted, which it hasn't. In 2016, I was seen by Infectious Diseases, who found raised neutrophilia in 2 blood tests, but instead of taking action or looking at the root cause, referred me to a chronic fatigue specialist, which had no relation to the blood test findings of it, which found infection. The key issue is the oral maxillofacial unit at Guy's Hospital. In 2015, they found via ultrasound scanning and ciliography obstruction in my left parotid gland. They found mucus plugging, which is a thickening of saliva, which they treated with washouts. In 2016, a registrar did a saliendoscopy, and I was with her at the time, and I could see big white looking like clouds in the left side of my face. And she did say, "It's really bad in there, Felicia. We need to put you forward for ongoing washouts." And she did put me forward for washouts every 6 weeks. But a month later, the lead dental radiologist at Guy's Hospital did a saliendoscopy, but said that everything was normal. And that led to me being discharged. I made a complaint and I wrote to the then CEO, Amanda Pritchard, who has now been reappointed, but I didn't receive a helpful response. I received a defensive response that didn't put any of my grievances right or explain why these 3 departments had not communicated and joined the dots and come up with a diagnosis and treatment. The biggest issue I've got here is that the salivary gland unit at Guy's Hospital is the centre for excellence in the UK for salivary gland disease. There's no better place. So whenever I turn up at other oral maxillofacial units, the first thing they say to me is, "How do you expect me to sort this? You've been to Guy's." An ENT surgeon at Fife said that. Manchester Royal Infirmary said it. They said, "Go back to Guy's. They've got your saliogram." Even the guy that did the operation said, "Why are you coming to me? You've been to Guy's." People cannot understand, as the centre of excellence, why this wasn't sorted under your roof. One of the biggest issues is, and this is a difficult one to broach because it's not an accusation, but it is a genuine concern, is I think it's a possibility that the dental radiologist who did that second saliendoscopy in January 2017 wasn't transparent about the clinical findings. And here's why I think that. You found at Guy's Hospital, and you've stated in a clinic letter, that there was obstruction and mucus plugging in my left parotid gland. The registrar found in 2016 that there was even worse obstruction and mucus plugging and put me forward for ongoing washouts. A year after you discharged me, the pathology report from my parotid gland surgery showed abnormality, and one of the abnormalities it found was dense secretions in the ducts, which is thickening of saliva. So it's therefore very strange that that saliendoscopy in between was normal. I genuinely think it's possible that she hasn't told the truth. The difficulty is that there's a possibility that when I'm seeing these other oral maxillofacial surgeons, that they possibly phone this dental radiologist for an opinion. And if she is telling them that everything was normal and that there was nothing wrong, it could explain why I'm being dismissed and discharged after 1 appointment. Now, I'm not saying this is true or fact. I'm saying it's a potential explanation for why I'm facing such obstruction within the healthcare system. So I'm asking you at Guy's and St Thomas's Hospital for two things. One is to come out and explain why these three departments, who all found abnormality, discharged me, when they could have done more. They could have communicated, joined the dots and taken some action, even if it was admitting me for IV antibiotics. If the dental radiologist hasn't told the truth and is telling future clinicians that everything was normal, I'm asking her to correct that. This is about my healthcare and my treatment. And if she's not being honest, it's causing obstacles in my treatment. So I'm asking her to please put this right and tell the truth, because it will unleash this block with future clinicians and oral maxillofacial surgeons. You know, this isn't just about me, it's about transparency and accountability in healthcare. It's also about putting things right and being transparent about failings. You didn't respond to my complaint with candour or any honesty. And your decisions have had a critical impact of how my medical journey has unfolded. You are one of the leading trusts in the UK. So I'm asking you please for your accountability. Why did you discharge me when you all found abnormality? And if the dental radiologist hasn't been honest, I'm asking her to please start being honest. And if there is a new referral to a new team, please tell them the truth. My salivary gland was not working and isn't working and needs to be removed. So I'm asking that you please tell them that. You found the original pathology with my parotid gland. It was found under your roof. So I'm please asking you for your transparency and honesty about those findings. Thank you.